Hello there everybody and welcome. In this video I got you a tier list for the Pyre Hearts in Monster Train 2. We're going to take a good look at these guys, and my main goal or my main point of view here was how easy it is to use these things in an everyday situation and how special are they in terms of compatibility towards only a strategy or two. In short, that's my personal opinion, very subjective, and I hope it'll help you out in getting some ideas. Let me know what I have missed out. I'm really open for discussions and knowledge exchange because at the end of the day, this game's really deep and there's a lot to discover, and I'm really doubting that I got it all. Anyways, let's get started. What to say about the Proto Heartcage? Well, there is not that much. This thing is rated on a D for me because it doesn't offer any capabilities. Its main takeaway are the high combat stats, but in all honesty, my Proto Heartcage won't be my main unit ever. So, it's a starter thing. So what can we say about that? The Heart of the Pact sits for me on a C rating. It is a pretty decent one. Card draw is a very powerful mechanic, but at the end of the day it has low stats and it does require that you play from both clans on the same turn, so it is not even something which I can really be 100% sure that it'll happen each turn. So in short, it's a nice idea, but due to the fact that it has very low durability, I really don't like it. I've tried it several times, but I felt weaker with this one compared to the other guys, but it's still better than the Proto Heartcage. The Lifemothers Pyre sits for me personally on an S rating. The capability to copy whatever you want to copy is just insane. Couple it up with some extra gold, and it is so easy to get your winning strategy doubly and triply boiled down, and if you have lucky enhancements on a unit, you can easily roll your run through with that. The Lifemothers Pyre main downside is that it requires you extra gold to pull off the trick still, but beyond that, there's not much more bad things to say. It is a very nice way to make your strategy reliable. I would recommend this, especially for builds that are specifically quite combo reliant, because obvious reasons. Malickas Shifting Pyre sits for me on a rating between A and B. I have a hard time putting this thing somewhere, because sometimes you get such good upgrades that it might be even an S rating, and sometimes it's just the wrong upgrade on the card that you want, and you end up with a card that has only one slot open because the other one is crammed with something that you don't want. So it's a very double-edged sword, and at the end of the day I dislike it for the randomness that it implies on my run, but I cannot deny that it is flippin' powerful to be randomly drawing cards that already have upgrades on them that are 90 to 100 gold worth. It's just me personally. I don't like unreliable things. That's just me. Wynghs Spirit sits for me on a B rating. It is very powerful when you need it. If it comes to the right time, it really can change an entire fight, but many strategies don't even need that thing. So altogether, it is not versatile enough, but any tank-centric frontline really enjoys this one as a oh shit button when you have an unlucky hand that just doesn't keep your people alive. If you get into that corruption boss again that bothers you, many things here give you that extra turn that can change so much. But altogether, I even had a thought that would it put onto C. But I felt like if you're playing the right strategy, and creature-heavy strategies are pretty good in my opinion, I put it onto B. Your mileage may vary. Fhyra's Greed. That's one that I put onto D. Maybe I'm not seeing something that is supposed to work on that, but call me crazy. I try to avoid my Pyre taking damage at any cost. So altogether, a Pyre that only gives me an advantage in my worst case scenario, I really didn't like that too much. I am well aware of the fact that we have spells that heal our Pyre, and technically we might even get ourselves to a certain point where we could facilitate that, but you know, I find it just weird. At the end of the day, what's really good about Fhyra's Greed is that the curses and such that hurt you when you keep them on your hand turn into gold. That is the main power of this thing, but usually I play them. I fail to understand why I should pick this one over any other Pyre. It's basically just a Proto Heartcage with a little extra on it. Maybe I'm too harsh on it. I don't know. So, Aquath's Reservation sits for me on a solid A, almost an S. I think Aquath is great because the 3 Ember extra can mean so much. It allows you to blow up 1 spell extra if you need it to. You can draft a very costly spell that you would otherwise not be able to facilitate during the early game and play it whenever you want. It is, in short, a really nice way to give you a strategical edge when you need it. The problem is it is a once per battle effect, and not all builds can thrive on more Ember, and that's why I didn't put it onto S. It is just not versatile in any scenario. Yeah, that's the thing. So all in all, I like this one a lot, especially since there's so many spells in all factions on 3 Ember or 2 Ember that just are really rocking the house, and this makes them accessible early on, and it is also a nice fallback strategy if you just need to do a lot of things so your battle doesn't keel over on you. Bogwurms Growth. I almost rated this on S. To me personally, it's an S rating, but I do think that I'm overrating it, and that's why I'm putting it officially on an A. Sounds weird, I know. But the thing is, you heard me rambling before about unreliability. That's the thing why it's not a clear S rating for everybody. The addition to floor space is massive. This thing expands your floors through the entire game for free, so you can pick up after the 2 bosses any type of upgrade that you want, extra Ember or extra cards. You don't really need to upgrade your floor space. The downside is it doesn't come where you need it when you need it, and quite often you need to reorganize your train and your formations, and sometimes this can be even really bad for a build. But altogether, this is my everyday Pyre that I play basically every run, because I love it to be not needing any extras on the room space. But that's a very, very personal bias. But I still think that this thing has an edge on many others, because floor space is valuable, extremely valuable. There's basically only 1 faction allowing us to expand with spells, and besides that, it's all locked behind very, very specific checkpoints in the game. So that's my personal opinion. Echo of the Time Father. So this one was a little bit hard for me. I put it into a B rating, but for a combo heavy build it's easily an A to an S rating. The thing is, it really depends strongly on what strategy you play, and not all strategies do have the same benefit of having a key card available when they need it. But if you are aiming for a strategy-centric build, this thing is a true godsend, because it's just giving you exactly what you need when you need it. You don't need to invest gold, you don't need to hope that you get the permafrost upgrade on the magic shop. It's all there in your starting abilities. It's really good, but I find it not specifically an all-rounder like others. So, Herzal's Horde. I really was on the edge with this one. I put it on a B rating. I was almost putting it on a C rating, but I do see that this thing gives you the capability of deploying very, very costly troops and whatever you need right off the get-go. The thing is quite simple. Having a lot of creatures in your starting composition is very powerful. The deployable upgrade is also very, very powerful. It just comes pretty late in the run, but altogether it's really, really cool. The downside is you just need material to fill it with, and you know, you don't get the floor space together with the Ember. You still need to draft something that is going into these absurd costs that you can now facilitate, and that's not a guarantee. And that is why I was very close to ranking it C, but resource efficiency and the capability of starting a battle really powerful were too much, so that's why B. So, Savagery. A rating. A clear A rating for me. It's really nice to have that slay on your troops, but the Pyre is flippin' fragile. It's the first one where I really noticed how low the HP of that one were. Maybe I am underplaying the Heart of the Pact too. Maybe card draw is so powerful that you need a low HP, but in this scenario I understood why I had to be so fragile. Because your creatures turn into absolute units, pun intended, with this one over the course of a run. You really gain so much attack for free with this one. I love it. I just didn't put it onto S rating because not every strategy is unit-centric, and you are very fragile with this one, and that bothered me a lot. So, Pyre of Dominion. Could be an S rating. I put it onto an A rating. The thing is, you toss away any of your starting cards, all of your starting cards, also the basic cards, and you get a free draft. If you know your way around the game well, this is, to me personally, almost always better than the starting cards. The basic cards are surely missed. Some builds and some factions don't really want that. Sometimes you really want the basic cards. Lazarus League's assistants come to mind, or similar things. But altogether, most basic spells get cycled out of my run. And, well, it's the luck of the draft, depending on what you get, but you also get the capability to have a specific strategy right off the bat. And I'd dare say, if you're good at this game, this is an invaluable asset to have a deck together that already works a little bit. This is really, really cool. And the other thing, it's very, very economy powerful, because you save most of the recycle out functions, because you basically have your deck practically filled with mostly things that you want, so we'll have to spend way less money to cycle out all the stuff that you don't want. Altogether, a very, very powerful thing, but very dependent on the player's skill and on the luck of the draw. Hence, I put it in all honesty on an A rating, but I think it could be actually S, because of the fact that it's such a Kickstarter. It's amazing. I've won runs on Covenant 10 with this one because of the fact that I just had my combo together at the beginning of the game, and that makes a huge difference. It also has no other skills, so it comes with a lot of drawbacks. But I like it. I really like it a lot. And the Pyre of Entropy, which I rated on a C rating. I was very, very short on the edge of rating it on D, because it's a very, very weird one. Vengeful shards actually do hurt you, but there are a few specific strategies that actually benefit from it. Few deck ideas exist with the idea of being more powerful the fatter the deck grows, but I was very short to giving it a D, because it's a very, very specific strategy, filling your deck with bad cards after each battle. I mean, I only say one name though, Dante the Reliable. If this guy shows up on your run, the Pyre of Entropy creates an absolute monster with attack numbers in the double digits. But beyond that, this thing is a very gimmicky part that surely would deserve the D rating, but I saw too many fun things possible with it, so I shied away from it. Alright, there you have it. My personal opinion about these. Feel free to chime in with the discussion and tell me why I'm wrong, or tell me why you enjoyed this list. You know, I always benefit from other opinions, and we all do, and at the end of the day, a vivid discussion in the comment section is beneficial for all of us. Just keep it civil, please. So, that being said, leave a like, leave a subscribe, consider donating, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel membership, or whatever tickles your fancy. I deeply appreciate all your help. A big thanks goes out to all the supporters out there. Thanks, you guys. And of course, I want to thank you for watching this video up until the very end. I deeply appreciate you taking that time, and I hope it was helpful for you. Entertaining too, maybe? Anyways, I wish you a great day, and see you soon.